Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Today I have a message for many chocolate sisters. Let me say that again. I have a message for many chocolate sisters. And this message is going to be a tough love message. I'm just going to tell you that from the rip. And reason why I say tough love, because coming up I had a lot of black women who really kept me out of trouble, who shaped me in many ways, but they did not sugarcoat anything they had to say to me. They looked me in the eye and told me what I need to hear. And what I'm about to say is what y'all need to hear. Y'all need to stop tripping. And the thing y'all tripping about is believing that black men don't want you. My last video, the previous video, was the women black men find attractive. And if you, in the link for that video is in the comments, if y'all hadn't seen it. I want y'all to really go through the comments and read what brothers were saying, particularly about chocolate black women. The brothers want y'all. I mean, I don't have to like stretch this out. The brothers want y'all. The brothers are checking for y'all. But here's a problem I've seen, and I've seen this for years. Way before there was a social media. Too many chocolate black women, chocolate sisters, quote unquote dark skinned black women. I don't really like that term that much. I'll use it in context, but I'll just use chocolate sisters. Feel like men aren't checking for them. And it's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I've ever seen in my life. And that's what it is. It's bullshit. No, brothers are checking for you. Like I said, go through the comments. Listen to what I'm saying. And I've talked with brothers over the years. And many of them even prefer a chocolate woman. And I've heard brothers have said this not in a public space for just to try to impress some women or to be politically correct, but in private spaces where brothers are going to be honest with each other, they'll say, man, I want a chocolate woman. But the problem is, and there's several videos, I ain't gonna call any names, but there's several YouTubers who are basically making their money off of, fighting for the chocolate woman, acting like you're so oppressed. Look, brothers checking for you, stop tripping. But see, here's where the problem is. And I'm gonna just jump right into the issue. Too many chocolate women, are looking at the media for their clues as to who wants who. They're looking at the media. They're looking at a few celebrity black men who are either married to light-skinned, quote-unquote, exotic-looking black women or non-black women. And that's okay, fine, they are. I don't know what the circumstances is, don't care. They're grown-ass men, they can do what they want. But women will use that as an example, say they don't want us. Well, first of all, you have millions of black men in the country. Contrary to popular belief, or which I might want to think, the average black man doesn't necessarily follow them, or look at them as leaders. Might root for them, might go to their concerts, might root for them on the ball field or the basketball court. But they know the average black man, the black man on the street, the black man who's actually going to deal with you, is not going to use these men as an example of the type of woman they want. Every man's going to want what he wants. Some men are going to, quite frankly, some men, for whatever reason, they're going to like that light-skinned woman. Let's just keep it real. But plenty of other men going to like that chocolate woman. And, and here's something for you. Most men will date both without any problems, without any issues. I'll speak for myself. I mentioned this in the comments. I was the type I could date a light, bright, damn near white sister on a Tuesday, and then a Friday be chilling out with that chocolate sister. Because you know what? I wasn't tripping over their complexion. The only things that matter were their body builds and their personality. If they click with me, they click with me. You know, that's it really, quite frankly, if you look at the problems that a black man is going to have with a woman, it's never her physical appearance unless she's overweight. And even then, there's some brothers still checking for that. They'll still deal with that sister. No, if you say the universal thing that a brother is going to have with any sister, no matter what, is attitude, her personality. They either don't click or she's making it hard just to get along. Because refer to my video, go through my archive, check the video I did recently on Black Men Just Want Peace. You know, if you give him peace, that's going to be the biggest determination. Now, you see, you get a lot of chocolate sisters. They ain't get that guy they wanted, or that guy broke up when they say, oh, he didn't like me because, you know, I'm chocolate. No, hell no. Get off of that. It's probably y'all just didn't click, okay? And that's it. You know, and let's turn this around. How do y'all like it? How do black women like it? When any black women like it if some brother said to them, oh, you just didn't like him because of his height, because of his looks. And yeah, and I did a video on that, but deep down, y'all know y'all don't want to think that. Right? I ain't saying, you know, whether it's true or not, y'all don't want to think that's the case. But I'm telling you in this case, I'm telling you about men. That's going to be the biggest determination. The attitude. Because on a pure physical basis, many brothers like that chocolate woman. Many brothers. But see, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Y'all don't listen to those brothers. They will tell you, they will look you dead in the eye and say, baby, I'm feeling you. You beautiful to me. But you going to ignore that brother. You're going to ignore him. You ain't going to hear what he has to say. You know? Unless, you know, he has a certain status or he's similar to a celebrity. If he's a select man, then you might hear what he's saying. But if he's not selecting your eyes, you know, the sisters, too many of y'all. Y'all worry, you know, you can be a room full of 100 men. 99 of them checking for you. 99 of them trying to get your attention. You worry about that one man in the corner that's ignoring you. You know, that's with some light-skinned woman. Or some non-black woman. And then talking about, they just don't want us. That's some bullshit. Some bullshit. Don't get angry that, you know, I might be cursing a little bit more in this one. Because, you know, I see the stuff too much. And see, here's the problem. Now, I already mentioned the issue with too concerned with the celebrity brothers. And in that same video that I did about the women black men find attractive, I said the celebrity black men represent like 1% of 1% of the black male population. You can't worry about them. In fact, instead of focusing on the brothers who are with non-white women, focus on the ones who are with black women. Because even with a lot of those celebrities, like a lot of those, I'm going to break something down too. If you check out this, there's some websites on the internet that cater to groupies. And these websites are primarily black women. I mean, they got the inside. They know where these where these players gonna be at and all that. Those are black women. Those ain't exotic looking women. Those ain't white women. Those are primarily black women. And if you look at the athletes out there, you look at the celebrities. Most of them are married to black women who really, quite frankly, don't look that different from you. And yeah, you got a few. They got like some non-black. Yeah, you got a few. And the reality is, unless you in those circles, you probably wouldn't meet that man anyway. So you can't worry about what he does. And I'm gonna hit you with something even deeper. Let me hit y'all with something even deeper. Even if you met him, how you know y'all be compatible? All you know is what that person does for a living. You don't know if y'all be able to have a real conversation. You don't know if your personality's a click. You don't know anything. You just, in fact, you don't even know. Like some women be going crazy over some celebrity, and all she really knows is public persona. And they'll say, well, no, you follow what they do in media and on these gossip sites or whatever, that still don't really amount to much. A lot of times they put on a public facade. Trust me, I know people who know people. A lot of stuff you seen in public ain't what they like in private. Seriously, you can't go with it. That's contrived. Think about it. A person coming out of some Starbucks or something like that, and dressed up a certain way, and there's some cameras that happen to be there. They don't be following people around like that. A lot of that shit is staged, to make them feel ordinary. These people know that stuff. So you don't know anything about them, so don't worry about that person. And but here's the most important thing, right? The media. You cannot too many chocolate sisters, feel the way they do because they don't see themselves reflected in the media. And really, you can't go by that for one simple reason. Even though I don't talk about white supremacy or anything like that, the reality, and this ain't even necessarily racist, it's just a reality, it's human nature. The media is more about advertising products, advertising products to the majority of people that it's going to see. And the majority of people, quite frankly, are white. And they a lot of times they advertising to white women. Those are majority. If black people, if it's a region or a market where it's majority of black, that's when you see more ads with regular black women in. Like you see some of these McDonald's ads, like all McDonald's ads have, you know, black people dancing or something like that. It's like no, it's being shown in an area that has mostly black people. And see, you can't go by that media image. That's because first of all, a lot of black women are like they caught up, like they don't look like Becky. And I'm like, to be honest with you, most white women don't look like Becky. So you caught up into some bullshit because quite frankly, a lot of white women are caught up into that same shit. Yeah, most white women, like I've known some white women, they get mad at that Barbie doll looking white girl. And I've seen it, I've witnessed it, because most of them are not blonde. Most of the blondes you see out there are manufactured blondes. Just like they say black women be getting weaves and shit. A lot of these white women be getting blonde highlights. Or whatever's popular. Increasingly brunettes becoming popular. Whatever the case. They caught up into that image too, and it's artificial. But black women, y'all really don't need to get caught up into that image. Because any culture is going to project an image of beauty that reflects itself. In Western culture, they're going to project that, that petite white woman, less than size 6 white woman, even though the average white woman is probably slightly overweight. That's what they're going to promote. So black women definitely don't get into that. It's silly. And I know it's tough. You sitting there watching the TV, you playing with the dolls and all that. And I know it's deep too. And you know what? That's why when I see a lot of chocolate sisters, you know what? I feel for them, but at the same time, sometimes I'm giving y'all this tough love. Stop tripping over the brothers see you as beautiful. Because the brothers, we not as caught up into the media image. We really ain't. Now I know somebody might say, well, what about these rappers and all of that? These rappers don't really control their videos. Let me just tell you that shit now. They don't control their videos. And most of these videos are going out to still a white audience. Understand that. Now, like I said, different cultures going to promote it. A lot of times I watch the Africa channel. I have a premium cable package just so I can get the Africa channel, and I be checking out some African shows just to watch some thick chocolate African women. There's one show on the Africa channel. I don't even think it's that good, to be honest, but the African Nigerian women in this thing are nice and thick and shapely. I be watching that. And a lot of people do. I talk to a lot of other brothers be watching it. They be like, man, you check out those women from South Africa? Shoot. And but it's the meat. You can't let that influence you. You got to ask yourself who checking for you. And if y'all, stop tripping, stop looking at that celebrity. You'll see like a regular brother checking for you. And and even the case with hair. I gotta put the hair thing. A lot of brothers like natural hair. Like one of the things I used to do, I used to sell products at natural hair expos, and just to see the beauty of the sisters there in their natural hair, not the yak hair, which I can't stand, not a weave. Like which most brothers, you probably press to find any brothers that truly like a weave. I'm statistically, they gotta be one or two, but most brothers don't like it. A lot of brothers like natural hair, prefer natural hair, but a lot of women don't want to hear that. A lot of women want to put this thing on and just, because they so caught up into the media image, they not thinking like, oh, what are the brothers actually checking for? And no, we not checking for it. We tolerate it because, well, we don't have a choice. And we'll just say, you know what, she cool anyway. We'll tolerate it, but it's not something we really checking for. So I want you, look, here's my message for y'all. Stop tripping. And this ain't some theory. This ain't some damn theory, all right? You know what? Before I did this video, I actually sat down, put some jazz on, lit the incense, kind of got in a meditative state, and I said, all right, let me think about all the chocolate sisters I've known who've had guys chasing after them, who had guys literally lined up. I stopped at 25. This is over the years, and some I still know. And a lot of these chocolate sisters got natural hair too. Because you know what it is? The thing that separates these chocolate sisters from some of the others, they didn't get caught up in the hype. They got caught up into what they were actually around them. Now, I ain't gonna say somebody ain't rejecting them because of this complexion or something. I don't know that. But I can tell you what I see right in front of me and what I've talked with these women. They kept themselves in shape, Like I said, most of them have natural hair. In fact, most of the black women in my circles and like have natural hair. And these women, they got men chasing them. Many of them have husbands who are very devoted to them, who love them, who quite frankly trying to keep them pregnant. They love them a whole lot. And you gotta just stop. Don't worry about what the public want, and don't worry about if a particular man has a woman that doesn't look like you. You don't know what is about that man. That man might not be for you anyway. All right. Just know that brothers are checking. They saying it. It's out there. Yeah, don't worry about those celebrity men. Worry about the men in front of you who see you as beautiful. Who are telling you that you're beautiful. Seriously, who are talking about you positively when you're not around. Check for them. Seriously, at some point, I realize a lot of women get caught up into that whole ideal man thing and the whole Mr. Goodbar thing and all of that and that little fantasy. Get the fuck out of that fantasy. You can't go through life living it. You really cannot do that. You need to start dealing with the men who's checking for you. And sometimes I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all something. I'm gonna leave y'all with something. I've known some women who used to be into that ideal man thing and worrying about the celebrities. Once they got out of it, and it's like 3 or 4 women specifically I know who did this, right? Once they got out of all that little media fantasy and that little Disney fantasy and romantic shit and started being real about who the men who were checking for them, these women were just happy. And when I say happy, they were happy because they let all that bullshit go. And then they were able to see what was real. And what was real was right for them. So get out of that. Get out of that, all right? And, like I said, this might be a little harsh, a little tough love. But like I said, I was raised up by women who took tough love with me. So I'm giving it right back. All right. And even as I said that, I still thought about two more chocolate women who had men like crazy, who found them beautiful. I mean, it's just there. So look, get out, leave the media alone. Leave the media alone. Leave the guy who ain't feeling you alone. If he ain't feeling you, he ain't feeling you. Get to know, get to know those men who are checking for you. Talk to them. You know what? They might not be as handsome as you would like or as tall as you would like, but you know what? You might have some gold. That might be the man who, like, if you have a dream to do something, he's gonna be the one like, baby, I got you. Let's go for it. That's going to be the man who you ain't going to have to chase at night. You know, wondering where he at. You're like blowing up his phone. You know, that's going to be the man if you just want to sit home and chill, be a stay-at-home mom. This the man who's going to work those two jobs and do it for you. But just know he's out there. You got to stop tripping. Don't worry about it. And he's going to love you. He's going to love that deeply melanated skin that you got. All right? And for the other sisters out there who, you know, you ain't a chocolate sister, look, it's the same thing with y'all, for real. Because I know some sisters, some light-skinned sisters might feel left out sometime, and I've personally known some, you know. But look, the fact of the matter is black men love all black women, even if that love come across as harsh. Even some of these brothers that's on their social media saying something, they doing it out of love. Because all they saying is, like, baby, just give me a chance. That's all they saying. Just look my way. That's all they really saying. You know? They frustrated looking at their beautiful women who tripping when they don't have to be. So, anyway. Just heed my message. Heed the message and the message it was given. Like I said, I'm the tough love blunt-ass brother, okay? And I'm going to be that way. I was raised that way by black women. And as they raise me up with that tough love, I'm going to pass it on to you because y'all need to hear it. All right? Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.